Okay, hello everybody. We're going to use a chair today. This is SoMATic Mat with Laura Ward. If you don't know that by now, it's amazing that you've arrived on this channel. Um, oh, I got to mute myself. I don't know why. I'm always like, who's talking? Oh, it's me. Okay, there we go. So let's start, actually, not on our chair. Let's start standing. We're also going to do the lymph flush because I just feel like it's such an important thing as everyone's getting sick and COVID and all the stuff to keep clearing it out. Here's the little terrorist himself. All right, rubbing your hands together. Maybe a little loose, shaky bounce of the body. Feel the ground underneath your feet, feeling your body in the space around you. So as we're in this little shaky bounce, just look around, turning your head from side to side. That gives you the message on a brainstem cerebellum level that you're safe. So you don't need to panic. Your nervous system can kind of down regulate a little. All right, then we're going to take our right hand crossing over into this left upper quadrant above the clavicle and circling. So right hand going to the left corner. Left side must start because this side does more of the drainage, like 3/4 of the drainage. Relax your neck and tongue. Relax your jaw. So when you move on the inside and you're also moving on the outside, you're definitely going to be moving those things around, those lymph nodes. So yeah, that's one reason I like to move. I feel like the healing comes faster when I'm cooperating on the inside and the outside. Collaboration. And then coming up behind the angle of the jaw, same thing. And I'm kind of using this whole flat of my hand and circling around. My weird image is like you're spreading out a pizza. Like you don't have any kind of thing other than your hand, so you're getting that pizza spread out, and you're kind of getting that same feeling under neck, jaw, angle of the jaw, tongue relaxed. And then shake it out, let it go. Other side. Left hand on the right quadrant. And when I'm talking about quadrant, what am I even talking about? I mean like this whole upper quadrant or this upper quadrant above the collarbone. I've also seen it done like this where you're getting under the collarbone as well. Feel free to do that. I feel like for me, this area needs it more. Moving all of that tissue, moving underneath, moving on top. Lymph flush, lymph drainage, encouraging the lymph system to clear so that there's no blockages in there. Yeah, getting up behind the angle of the jaw. You can also go under the whole ridge of your jawline. Well, I have to say that since I've been doing this, there's a few things that I've been doing. One is the lymph flush. Not a few. There's a whole laundry list of things that I do. Lymph flush on a regular basis is one of them. Morning walk on a regular basis. First thing, get up, go outside, walk. Cold, either ending my shower cold or going into cold water, ice bath type stuff. And my allergies this year are the least, they're way better than they've ever been. So this stuff is working. It's not the kind of thing that like, oh, I did it twice and it didn't work. It's like, no, this is the thing that you do for like months on end. And then you go, oh my God, look at this. I'm not having the same allergy problems. Okay, we're going to shake that out. Come into K27 point. So here's my collarbones, my clavicle, just under there is 2 indentations. There should be a nice little nestling spot where you can feel in and go, oh yeah, that feels like my fingers fit right in there. Circling that around in one direction and then the other. You could be sitting on your chair for this. I'm just seated here, squatting on the floor. And then we're going to do the Tarzan with a hum. In through your nose. Get that nasal nitric oxide going. Feels really good to open your mouth sometimes too. So humming quietly if you're feeling more internal, and really letting it out if you need a little Tarzan energy in your life. Okay, shake that out. Going to the next place. So you can see that I'm getting this red. That is a histamine response. That is what happens when there's like the histamine underneath is going, oh, okay, something's going on. Getting into sternocleidomastoid, belly button, xiphoid process, right in the middle. Now, what I have noticed of late is if I kind of collapse in and slow it down and move a little bit, this feels better. So I'm kind of hunching over and letting my hands go in. If I'm vertical, these like these muscles in the front of my abs don't let it in very much. But if I kind of crunch over, I can get in a little bit more, slowing it down. And then shake that out into the inguinal fold. So just above the inguinal fold, really, kind of inside. There's a lot of lymph nodes right along here. Getting that whole area. Shake that out. Next one behind your knees. And you could spend, this lymph flush, you could spend anywhere from 15 seconds to a couple of minutes in each area, depending on the speed and tempo of your body. Like I'm all amped up. It's the morning. I've had coffee. I'm like, oh, let's go. But if you were like slower and gentler, maybe more like deep in your sort of somatic meditative state, you might want to go slower with this. All right, shake the whole thing out. Let's do a couple of big inhales before we get to our chair. Up, feeling the space around you. Inhale and open. And exhale, as if you're just radiating out into space, radiating away from center, your magnetic field, your energetic field getting bigger. And that field is not like just one way going out. You're also taking in from what's outside of you. So there's this balance of energy going out, energy coming in, just from existing. All right, I'm going to put my mat on my chair. Actually, I'm not going to put, yes, I am. I'm going to put my chair on my mat, kind of, a little bit. And we're going to start seated. Or we're going to get onto our chair. Let me move that up. It is summer now. It's like it went from winter, and then we had like spring for 2 weeks, and now it's summer. Really warm here. All right, let's just start with some circling. So rib cage, lungs, diaphragm, getting this nice mobility. You can almost imagine, so try not to like contract in your guts. Try not to, don't think of this as like, I got to contract to make it so strong. Make it really easy and relaxed. So you're inviting in this fluid movement in your guts, in your diaphragm, in your rib cage, lungs, and heart. So that those sliding surfaces inside are really free. Change direction. Other way. Yeah, we have many layers within us of like fascia, muscle fiber, organs, fluids, and they're all interacting. But even with like the fascia, even with the layers of fascia, it's like it's sometimes there's a tiny little fascicle, like a little tiny one, and then there's bigger, bandier, bigger. Fascia means bundles. It's like bundles of things, and in your body, those are the bundles of the fiber that's creating your form. So like and in our muscles, those individual fibers, like if you think of like a little tiny bead of like a grapefruit or a lemon, that's like kind of like what fascia, the outside casing of that little fluid bead is fascia. It is like that. That's what with our muscles. And those even inside our body can shear against each other. Like it's not just one thing that goes like that. It's like, oh, there's a little bit of movement. So when we move, we get those things to plump up, to rehydrate, and also to have some biotensegrity, some elasticity, some capacity for movement. If we don't move, it gets kind of like felt, like disorganized and like boiled felt, boiled wool. It's all like, "Rrr." All right, let's do an arch and a curl. So I'm going to I'm going to add my feet and my knees. I'm going to inhale, open, arch, and exhale and curl. Inhale, arch and open. This is a cat-cow. Exhale, hollow and curl. Gaylord right on target with the cat-cow. Open and exhale. Round your spine. Inhale, arch, open, exhale, hollow and curl. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Inhale, open, exhale, round. Good. We're going to start with the arch. Open. Bring your legs so they're not too wide here so that you have the support of your legs. You're going to pick up your, let me move my camera down a little bit so you can see what I'm doing with my toes. So you're going to lift your toes and spread out your fingers like that. Lift your chest, arch, 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 all the way down. Drop the toes, drop the fingers, curl, roll it all the way up. Opening your chest, lungs, and heart. Taking it down, all the way down. Relax, connect to the floor, curl and roll up. Radiating out with the hands and feet and back. And then surrender, soften, melt, scoop, roll it up. One more like that. Arch, all the way down. And scoop, hollow, and curl. Changing direction, taking it down. Head is dropping down. Radiate out, toes lift, fingers spread, open up. Get tall through the center and then hollow, curl, rounding your, doming your feet, doming your hands. Radiate out, open, lift through center, dome. Take it down, reach it out, up. And last one, doming, down, reach it out, and come up. And let's just do a little Stevie Wonder, Axl Rose, head to tail, just freeing up, imagining, isn't she lovely? I don't know the rest of the song, the words to that song. Da, na, 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 na. Yeah, a little Stevie Wonder or Axl Rose, who's a little faster and a little heavier with that. Good. Let's do some side with stretching. Just side stretch. And then an arm circle, side stretch with an arm circle. So I'm supporting myself here, but trying not to totally collapse into it. Flexing through one foot. Big arm circle. Letting my whole spine ripple over to one side and then over to the other. Using your breath. Inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale, inhale, exhale. And let's come down the center, hands on the floor, and just let yourself relax, totally drop down. You can shift from side to side. So releasing your back, head, neck, completely released. You can push with your hands into the floor a little bit. And then roll it all the way up. So we want to also, we're doing these sort of specific exercises, but then we want to have times where the body has freedom to move however it wants. You can listen in, feel in. So let's just do that with our arms for a second. Seaweed arms, octopus arms, flamenco dancer arms. What do they have in common, right? They have a lot of mobility, a lot of capacity. Octopus feels with its skin, not feels with its skin, tastes with its skin. So imagine that you're tasting with your skin. You're tasting the whole environment with your skin. And then freeing up your spine. So head to tail, real free mobility. Things can ripple and wave. Feeling that connection of the arms into the rib cage, lungs, and heart, right? Wings of the heart. Here are your heart wings. And as Gil Headley says, he'll ask, where's your heart? And everyone goes, oh, it's over here. He's like, no, it's everywhere, because the system of your heart, your circulatory system, your blood is going through your whole body. So this whole system is moving through the information is everywhere. It's not just here. The information is way spread out. And the electromagnetic field of our heart is much, much bigger than our body. So when we're around people, we're attuning. Our hearts are attuning to each other. All right. Let's do that other version. We're just going to spiral first. So just spiral, twist, look around behind you, one side and then the other. Yeah, once I get there, I'm taking a little further. I can feel all sorts of weird adjusting in my neck and head. The most exciting cat in the house has joined. The instigator. Oh, he's going to go and play with Gaylord's tail. It's a popular move. All right. So let's come into this side stretch, and you're going to push back with your heel. So you can see my chest is going forward and up, and my heel is going back. So I have the cat below me eating my finger, and my outfit being helpful, getting stuck on it. And unfortunately, I can't tuck this into anything. There we go. Okay, so push back through your heel, and you're going to arch and lift, and then you're going to just soften and round. So head, tail, heel, the whole thing opens, reaches out and up. And I feel like this is kind of like our Art Deco moment. Reach it out and up, and contract and release. Push through your heel, open, chest forward and up. Support your head and release, and one more. Push it back, reach it out. Oh, on the side of an urn or in one of those like posters that they made in the Art Deco period. I just see my long, streamlined black dress. All right, same thing on the other side. Pushing back with your heel. You can start smaller. We'll get a little bit bigger as we get going. But so my chest is pulling forward and up, my heel is pulling back, and then I'm sort of contracting and softening. So the tissue is radiating out and opening, and then softening and releasing. Ideally, we're getting this stretch through the front of the leg, through the hip flexor. People would say through the psoas. But the psoas is such a soft, it is the filet mignon of the body. It is deep inside here. It's not really that it needs to stretch on most people. It just needs to relax. It needs to have some fluidity. Inhale, open. But we do need to get our legs behind us a little bit so that we're not just contracting all the tissue of our front body so much. Take it up. And if you feel like adding that arm, soften, radiate out, soften in. Last one. Reach it out and come in. And now we're going to combine that whole package together. But let's just first release our pelvis a little bit. So I'm just shifting my hips. I'm kind of pushing into one leg, pushing into the other, letting my body have some side-side movement with a little bit of a spiral. Okay, now we're going to make the whole package. So we're going to go sideways, side stretch. We turn, take it down. Now we're in our sagittal plane. We're going to circle the arm back and then take it down again and circle up to go back. Look at the ceiling and then exhale, spiral and bend the back leg. Serving the sandwiches through the middle. We go sideways, side stretch. So this is a lateral side stretch. We drop it down. We're in the sagittal now. We drop down and we come back up. Arch back. Here's our deco moment. And spiral around. Bend your knee. Open it up. Side stretch. Sideways. Dropping down. So we're dropping forward, surrendering. Inhale, lift and arch. Moment of exaltation. Taking it around the back. Look for your foot. Point your toes. And serve the sandwiches. Side stretch. Taking it down. Surrender. Let go. Bring it up. Arch back. Exaltation. Open your heart. And spiral around. Open it out. One more time each side. Side stretch. Big lateral stretch. Take it down. Surrender. Come back up. Here we are looking at the gods of Mount Olympus. And then all the way around. And spiral open. Side stretch. Take it down. Drop it down. Lift and open up to the heavens. And spiral. And bring it into center. And let's just do let's just do this with our legs. You're just gonna take them out. I feel like I need this. This is like what we would do on our, if we were on our backs, and eventually we will do on our backs, but I'm just kind of rolling from one butt, internally rotating. I'm still kind of forward here. So this isn't the big total side stretch. I'm still both legs internally rotating, little open, both legs internally rotating slightly. Open, internal rotation, open it out, internal rotation. Yeah. All right. Let's just do, it depends on what kind of chair you have. Like I have this really soft chair. I mean, when I say soft, I mean rounded edges. It's hard. It's made out of metal. But this goes right under, like kind of under the base of my scapula here, and I can arch up and open my heart here. Oh, it feels really good. Opening the front of my body. If you don't have this kind of chair, you might not be able to do that. You might have to like support yourself with your hands. So listen into your body, work with your chair. If you can arch up and back, go for it. Ah. And then coming in, and we're going to change our relationship to our chair. So coming up, moving the camera slightly. I'm going to turn my chair, and I'm going to put my hands on my chair and free up my spine. So spinal movement, free flow. Let me move forward so you can see me a little bit better against the white. So from my head to my tail, I'm just going to arch and curl for a second. Regular old cat-cow. And I can play with like bending my knees, getting ready to pounce, and then pushing, scooping, curling. Can also play with my feet, how my weight is going on there. What are they doing? So I can shift forward, I can shift back, I can lift up my toes, I can lift up my foot, playing around with that. You also might want to try some side there. So getting into your feet. I saw it was I think it was an ad for some kind of like shoes. It was on Instagram, so I'm not sure, but it was the ad that they were saying your feet don't need support, your feet are support. Like that's what the 26 bones, all the fascia, all the muscles, that's what they are. They are support, and they're also connection to the ground. So we want to feel that connection into the earth. We can ground ourselves by feeling our feet on the earth, connecting into that. You might want to bounce a little bit, picking up your toes, spreading out your toes, going up to releve. You can shift a little bit from there. Don't hurt yourself. If it doesn't feel good, don't do it. But at the same time, we want to have mobility, and we also want to have this capacity. Actually, let's do this. We're going to come back down to our chair in a minute, but to dome. So this is like doming up my foot. I reach out through my toes, and then I'm pulling on the floor and doming up, spreading out and pulling. I'll show you forward. So it looks like this, out and then in and up, spreading forward, in and up. You can see my weight is shifting forward, and then it's doming back, forward, doming back. So you can build the strength and the muscle of that support structure of your arch if your feet are flat. And I've seen people do it by doing these types of exercises. Same thing on the other side. Out, dome it up. And actually, according to Irene Dowd, who's an anatomist, I remember this, like it's kind of the way our feet are formed. It's almost like the bones. If your foot is a little more spiraled in, you have a very high arch. If it's kind of unspiraled, then it's kind of flattened down to the ground. So the spiral in, it's a weird thing. You can see with a foot, like a skeleton, how that works. I'm not articulating it very well. Out, pull up and in. Out. There's a great moment in Terminator 2 at the very end when the Arnold character, who is just the old model of the robot, and his feet are just the metal, the interior, and he's walking, but you can see this like almost like bird-like claw of the foot, and it is. I really often don't like the metaphors of robotics as humans because we are alive flesh. We have much more in common with a tree or a grapefruit than we do with any machine. Because we're alive and we're fluid, we're made of water, we're fluid systems that require that water and the air, all those things. Anyway, But there is just a great image at the end of T2. That's all I'm saying. Doming, doming, doming. And then let's do a little teeny walk. So it's going to be like this. You're going to go heel through your foot to the toes. The next one comes into your foot, heel through your foot to your toes. Heel through your foot to your toes. Heel through your foot to your toes. And then we're going to do the same thing back. It's going to be toes through your foot, then you weight shift. Toes, bring them close by. So we're taking this tiny little walk. We're not going far. Just a little walk to articulate through your foot. It's funny, in dance, we always talk about articulating through your foot. Like, what is articulation? It is speaking clearly. So the same thing with our feet. We want to speak clearly with our foot so that our foot has all of this capacity. Let's just do the points for a second. So you can open wide. You're going to go to the ball of your foot, point your toes, ball of your foot, down. Ball of your foot, toes, ball of your foot, down. Ball, toes, ball, down, ball, toes, ball, down. And you see I'm doing this big weight shift. Point, ball, lower. And we're doing this turned out in what would be second position, just because you can really see what's going on. And there's a way to go from side to side. All these little intrinsic muscles in here in my rotators are also working. Shake it out, let it go. Shake, shake, shake. And let's come back to the spine. So we're going to come into the spine with free flow. So free flow, we can do a hiss, and we want to let our spine move in multiple different ways. So we're shifting our weight from limb to limb. We're giving our head-tail connection total freedom to do anything. Mobilizing tail to head, head to tail. And we'll add the theta breath hiss. So it's a big inhale through your nose, and then allowing that sound to bring your awareness into your body more, right? The sound, you should be able to hear it in your head, is going to create more vibration and just more internal relationship. Also, it's going to extend your exhale, which is going to drop you down to a little bit more parasympathetic, less activated state. Listening into your own body. And from there, we're going to go with letting one arm open up, playing around. You can free flow this, moving to different places. What can you do with one arm connected to the mat? And I'm also going to free up my legs because that's what's happening. So right now I'm working with a contralateral pattern, cross body. You could just do your hand and changing to the other side. Or you could also free it up. So let this be a moment for you to play in your own body. So one hand free, just seeing what it can do. Where can it go? What can happen? And if I take that contralateral pattern, so I'm working cross body, which means my left arm and right leg or right arm and left leg, what's going to happen there? Making it interesting, making it fun, making it curious, and requiring my bottom foot to do different things as I play around with this. Going back and forth a few times, free flow, play, do what feels good in your body. Yeah, I can even connect them in front of me or behind me. Switching to the other diagonal whenever you need to. Letting your body learn what feels good, what doesn't feel good. What can I do here? What's interesting? I usually don't do this connecting business, but for today it feels really good. So let's let go of that and come up onto our legs for a second. After I've been in any kind of like downward dog or forward fold, I'm always like, okay, I just need to be in my vertical again. So take a little walk around your space, free up your wrists, free up your hands, feel into your whole body. Check out the space. What is going on? What do you notice that's different today? Maybe nothing, maybe some things. All right, let's take it down to the floor with our chair again. So the chair this time, just going to pull this whole carpet a little bit further back. And I'm going to put my chair on my mat. And this is also going to be fairly free flow and playful. You can use your own judgment while you're doing this. So there's a few things that we're going to do. One of them is massage out our calves on the edge of the chair. Now, depending on your chair, like if it's a hard edge, it's not going to feel that good. You might want to be careful. I've got, again, this soft edges, curved edges, so I can rub my calf along there and really get deep into my calf, into the fascia, into the muscle. And I can move up and down. I can go side to side. I can also kind of hook and pull from side to side so I'm getting shear. I'm not just getting here, I'm rolling through. Got some serious celery stalks in there. But if I move my leg and let my leg move it side to side, I'm getting more shear force. And we want to have both of those options in there. And yeah, we just had a performance in the city over the weekend outside on concrete. So like my calves definitely need some extra love. Letting that tissue and fascia free up. So I could also scooch myself further back and get lower down towards my Achilles. If I move and move my feet at the same time, I'm going to get a lot more differentiation inside the tissue and awareness and agility in my feet and legs. This can also be incredibly painful. So if this is really painful, it just means you're tight. And go lighter, go more gentle, go easier. If you don't feel it at all, it means that you have masked your sensation really intensely. And you're probably holding a lot of tension, but you don't feel it because you're not used to feeling into your body that much. I'm not talking to my darling people in my room. I'm talking to the people in TV land. I have one client in the city who's built like a tree trunk. And he just doesn't feel anything. I can get my elbow with all my body weight into the belly of his calf, and he barely feels it. It's like, oh my God, you're going to kill my body working on your body because it's so intensely holding, right? We want to start to learn to let go of that stuff. Another thing you can do if you have one of this type of chairs, get lower onto that bottom rung. This is going to possibly be more painful. So remember, you don't want to be causing pain that's putting more tension in your body. If you can be in a place where you're like, wow, that's really intense, but I can relax with that, that's kind of a good gauge for how much should you be doing with this work. Like how deep should you go? And our fascia, our body, it likes to have a long time to make changes. And I'm not even talking a long time in terms of 20 minutes to an hour. I'm talking weeks and months, right? We need some consistency over time with what we're doing with our body. All right. So that's something that you could spend a very long time just playing with. If you added the theta breaths and slowed yourself down, got in there, you would find probably a lot more capacity to release stuff. But we're going to start to work with some strengthening at the same time. So I'm going to, and you can't really see it that much because I'm wearing this big loose thing, I'm going to start to pop up off the floor. Now I can kind of not get into my calf, but I personally want to be getting into my calf too. So I'm moving a little bit from side to side. If I just wanted to be working back, I could just be pressing up and coming down. I could even come to the edge of my chair to press up, right? But be careful, don't slide or fall if your chair is wobbly. You can also do one leg, right? So I'm working my back, but I'm freeing up my spine. I'm getting all this mobility. Oh, breathing into it. Mobility. Mobility is our capacity for movement, right? Do we have the mobility? It's a balance of strength and flexibility. Yeah. I'm really free flowing this, alternating sides, and I'm doing it so that I can get into my calves, but also get movement in my back and work my back body as I'm pushing up. I'm working my hamstrings, my butt, and my back. And bring it in. Even yourself out if you need to do anything. Like if you didn't even yourself out, woo! Cat storm is happening right behind the camera. The two of them came chasing. The little cat, my computer with my camera is sitting on our couch. So the other side of the room is a couch and some paintings. And the cat loves to run across the top of the couch. They have the zoomies. Oh, there he goes. All right, let's take a quick happy baby from there. So grabbing onto your feet or your knees or whatever you want. Baby time. Give yourself some baby time in your baby body. What would it be like to have that young, super hydrated, not super dense tissue, right? When we're babies, we're like 90% water. As we get older, it depends on how old you live to be and how much you move, how much you get that hydration in there. As we get older, we can drop down to like 60% water. So I've heard. Open it up, wiggle around. Yeah, we want to be hydrated and juicy inside, hydrated and fluid. All right, let's get some spiraling going. So push your chair out of the way and come onto your back. And we're going to just let the knees fall from side to side. Loose and easy. So this is massaging out back of the hips, the butt, lower back. My two legs are having the chance to work as separate individuals, one leg and then the other. So it's not just a lower body unit moving together like this, where the whole thing's just going. It's one leg and then the other leg. One leg and then the other leg. So I'm getting that release through the center. And my femur head is getting a lot of movement in my hip socket here. Right? Actually, let's do this with the legs, with the knees up off the floor, where you can go one and then the other. So that for me is actually massaging across a part of my back of my hip that I really need to be massaged across. If that doesn't feel good to you, just turn your feet back to the floor and make this easier. If you want to, you can take one leg and just reach it across. And if you feel like you want to make this very modern dancey, you can circle your leg out and up. So this is the modern dance version. One of my friends who's a yoga teacher, Ann Robinson, was doing this on her Instagram. I was like, oh yeah, I haven't done that in a hot second. So sometimes it's nice to have that connection. So my foot is connected to the floor the whole time, right? One of the, differences of modern dance is that they go down. They might flex their feet more as opposed to ballet where it's all pointed and a lot of going up. Throw in some African dance and you'll learn how to go down too. Circling back and forth, rolling through your spine, massaging through your back. If you want to take this a little further, you can come forward in that, coming up through the squat. So for more advanced, you could come sort of into a little forward fold. If that doesn't feel good, don't do it. Listen to your body. Feel what is right for you today. Be responsible. It doesn't all have to happen at once. Good. And then take it in, and let's do a more intense twist and a little bit more ab work. So coming in, arms out, side, legs up, straight legs if that feels good in your body. Arms are out, pushing the floor away. Big twist. Bend your knees if you need to. Good. And bring it into center. Hands behind your head. Let's go down, cross, and then bring it up. Cross it down, legs up. Cross down. Let's flex the feet on top and then point. Flex, point. Flex, point. Long legs. Reaching through your heels, reaching through your toes. Reaching through your heels, reaching through your toes. Heels, toes, heels, toes, heels, toes. Last one. Heels and toes. And relax. Drop it down. Turn your head from side to side. Take a big hum there. In through your nose. Hum. Free up your whole spine. Head to tail, tail to head. Relax your butt, relax your thighs, relax your hamstrings, relax your guts. Oh my God, do we learn how to hold our guts in? I'm still working on it. I've spent my whole life in my body. And we're so taught to cram it in and to hold it together. And like, that is just not healthy for your organs. I'm not saying don't ever engage them. We have to engage them, but we shouldn't be chronically holding muscles. That is not healthy for our body, especially like our abs. We don't have to do anything. Our guts aren't going to fall out. We want to have strength so that we can be active and move, but we don't want to be like, these systems of like constipation, to put it in a romantic way. Hands down by your sides, legs up. A system of constipation in our energy pattern. Up and open. Inhale, exhale. Inhale, exhale. Use your breath. Up, down, up, down, up, down. Last one. Up. Open it out, rock from side to side. Let this massage through your back again. Your knees can be bent here. It can be like that. That's fine. If you're more flexible, open it up. Work with what feels good to you. And then we're going to drop our feet wider than the sticky mat. This is that exercise I was talking about when we were on the chair, about that internal rotation. Spiraling in, letting the tissue spiral around the bones, around itself, like especially that IT band. It's got that layer under the big bandy fascia, which is what helps us stand. We have this like softer jelly-like fascia that still has structure, but it's going like across this way. So it's going like this underneath the big band of fascia where the fibers are really going up and down. You can hook your heel, take it deeper if you want to. Find some micro movement in that, a little bit of wiggling, a little teeny bit of adjusting. Breathing, and then release. Switch it to the other side. Same thing. Hang out. Add some micro movement into the stretch. Just little teeny adjustments. There isn't a right or wrong about it. Feel into it. Awaken your own sensation. Bring your awareness online through feeling into your body. We've learned to override our bodies so much that sometimes we just don't listen. So, and I mean, also, we also find our boundaries when we cross them by accident. So that there's that too. But listen into your body. Let's lift the pelvis up one more time. Interlace your hands behind your back. Walk your shoulders close together since we're on this big feet kick. Tippy toes, and then lower your heels. Pelvis stays high. Inhale up. Exhale down. Use your breath in through your nose. Last one, up, release your hands, open your shoulders, take it all the way down. And then both knees in, and this time just circle your knees, massaging through your back, knees together. So you're rolling, you're moving your spine gently, you're relaxing your belly, relax your tongue, relax your neck and jaw, let it go. Breathing, easy and loose. And then let's just shake it all out. Add some sound, or just it's better to like open your mouth on that, like really free it up. All right, we're gonna flip over. I'm just gonna take a little look-see at the tiempo. Oh, we're almost done. So we're gonna come onto, let's do a forearm plank. And we're going to go a little harder on this. So if you want to make it easier, you can skip the way I'm going to do it side plank and just alternate one to the other, or you can take your knees down. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to cross under, open it into my side plank. I'm going to take the back leg forward, take it back, elbow down, forearm plank. Cross it under, open the side, back leg goes forward, it goes back, uncross, take it down, cross it under, side, forward, back, down, in, cross it under. And you can start to just walk it as you're doing it, using your breath. Yeah, you could make this easier by putting the knee on the floor and still do it. So knee would go down, then you would move. Right? We're requiring the tissue in our body to adapt to this different relationship to gravity. That's our last one. Come down. Relax into the floor. Head on your hands. Up and down. Let it go. Soften and melt. Wag your tail. Relax your neck, jaw, and shoulders. Bend your knees, let your legs fall from side to side. Let this massage out the quads. So yesterday, we had a thunderstorm up here, and I was supposed to go to a picnic, but then the thunderstorm happened, and I was like, I'm not driving in that to go have a picnic in the rain. It was in a pavilion. I think it wasn't raining where the picnic was, but it's kind of far away. So instead, I binge watched the entire Anatomy of a Scandal last night on Netflix. And I have to say, I do recommend it. There's some great acting in it. It was really fun. I mean, it's horrible to say fun. That's not the right word, but it was well done. It was well made, and brings up some issues that are certainly true in our culture. Opposite arm to leg, inhale, lift, exhale, down. The people who get away with things. I have to say, I've known many of them. Yeah, the people who don't live by the same rules as everybody else. It's very interesting. And how we, continue to uphold that as a culture. So I appreciate people making movies or whatever that bring these questions up to light. Let's take the legs up, crisscross, beating, opposite arm to leg. And then hands next to your chest. Arch and open and release and bring it down. Inhale up and exhale. Lower. Inhale, lift. Exhale and inhale, lift. And then take it back. Although there is one thing that a lot of TV is doing right now that really drives me nuts, and they did it a lot in that series. They also do it on the behavior panel, is when they like shift scenes to a clip, instead of like letting the edit go quietly, they put like a boom, and it like, my nervous system just does not need that. It's like, can you not do the big loud noises it's just too much. I have to say, there's a lot of things I can't watch because of the sound just being too out of control. But it's like, yeah, I don't need that kind of shocking. Thank you. Side to side. And that one also had, and they said it, they're like, we're going to have a lot of strobe effects in there. So if you're sensitive to that, you might want to be careful. And I had to turn my light down for that. Because if you become sensitive to things, you're sensitive to things. Like if you decide to live in the world where you're actually feeling things and seeing things and your senses are kind of open, then these assaults can be really intense. So yeah, I just wish the TV world wouldn't do it so much. Usually when I go to the movies, I have to wear earplugs. It's just too loud for me. So yeah, I'm one of those sensitive people. And that's what I'll say is like when you come into being in your body and really feeling things, you really feel things. And so for the people who aren't feeling anything and just can go and all the loud noises are fine, that's because they've got so much tension in their body, it's shut it all down, right? We're meant to react. Our nervous system is meant to react to loud sounds because we need to run like hell because there might be, an avalanche coming down the mountain. But when we've masked it so much and we're not feeling any of that stuff, it's still going in there. We're just not noticing it. But when we do notice it, it's like, oh my God, it's just too much for me. And that's, the world that we live in now. Because our nervous system is attuned to be aware of danger so that we survive. But we have these loud sounds and these booms and these lights because people are so uh, shut down. Like there's so much stuff, so much stimulation that it just shuts down everything. So we're not reacting to it. It's just happening. But it is coming in, even if we don't feel it. All right. Sorry for the big lecture. Just have to say it. It's important. Let's take our elbows into our sides, chest to the floor. Going 1, 2. You can put your knees off the floor if you want. 3. It's up to you. I'm making it easier for me. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. And coming up. If you can downward dog, take that into a downward dog. Walk through your feet. 1 knee bends and then the other. And let's just finish this off actually with a pigeon. We never do pigeon. Taking your knee forward, heel towards your hip, taking it down. If that position isn't going to work for you, here's your alternative version. So really work with what feels okay to you. If you're okay with pigeon, go ahead and take it down into your pigeon. Surrender as a pigeon. Breathe. You can cross the bottom arm under if you want to, wrapping around, if just an option. And then unscramble it. Push the floor away. Switch it to the other side. Just a quick pigeon. Again, we could spend a very long time here. But we're running out of time in the class, so either straight down or wrapping and grabbing. Breathe into it. And then unscramble, push it away, and come up. Just rolling across one side of your butt and then the other, massaging it out, releasing your hips and your back. Slide your feet underneath you, take your butt up to the ceiling, open your feet wide, shift from side to side, let it go. Breathing. Come in, roll it up. And at the same time, I have a punk rock band where I scream, right? So while I talk about this stuff with sound, it's different when you're doing something yourself than and I wear earplugs when I'm in my practice because my drummer is loud. Inhale, lift, and exhale down. Inhale, open, and exhale. I think for me, it's in those TV shows where it's like it's calm, 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 and then boom, and then it's calm, calm, calm. It's like, wait, why? Anyway, it's like those. It's like in like hockey games where they have that sound, and then like all the sounds that they make. Shake it out, let it go. All right, I am going to end my live stream. I have one person watching. Nice to see you, my one person. And I'm going to end that. How do I do it? It always takes me a minute to figure out my stuff.